Hey you guys, so we have our English 1102 Blackboard shell. I wanted to take you through that for just a second to make sure we're all on the same page. We know how to use this amazing tool, which sometimes can be a little bit clunky and difficult to manage. But that's okay, we've got this, all right? If you have questions about Blackboard or anything, there are ways that you can get your answers, so we have got this together. Now I have created Blackboard, what you see on Blackboard, to make it as easy and streamlined as possible. Okay, I've had issues in the past and we've ironed those things out. So if you see something that seems clunky, that needs adjustment, let me know, and then that way I can do some more ironing. I don't like to iron my clothes, but I do like to iron out issues on Blackboard. God, that was a bad joke. Sorry, guys. So when you log into Blackboard, you're going to see this announcements page. This will be the first thing that you see. To be perfectly honest, the home page, which is like the other option, it doesn't work like it should. So I strongly recommend not using the home page, which is this little link up here. I'm not even going to click it because I feel like it's weird. All right, we have to keep it here, but All right, the announcements page is going to tell you everything that that I feel you need to know in any given moment, right? So I'm going to send you an announcement. That announcement will appear on the announcements page and also in your email, because I always send the two at the same time. All right, so I don't try to overload you, or I don't overload you with announcements and emails. You get maybe one a week. This way, when you see it, you're not desensitized to the fact that I'm sending you something. You're like, oh, okay, this is important. At least that's how you should be thinking of it. All right, so, we have that. Now, the Start Here section is where things that'll help you throughout the entire course live, okay? So things like the syllabus, we've already talked about that in a different video, so we don't have to go into it here, but this basically governs the class. We have our course calendar, okay, and that tells you what you need to read, what assignments you need to do, that kind of thing. Now, it doesn't point out videos that you need to watch. That's hanging out in the lessons folder, and we'll take a look at that. But, this is a really great tool. So if you click it, right, it downloads the document in Word. You can save it, you can print it, makes it nice and easy, right? And it'll show you, okay, well, what are the readings? What am I expected to take a look at, right? And then all of these things, even the assignments, the readings, everything is linked in the lessons folder. This is just a really easy one-stop shop for you to see the whole course just at a glance, okay? So that's really the big thing, all right? It's meant to make things easier. So that course calendar and the syllabus, specifically the instructor policies, right, the things that we'll be interacting with day to day, they also live over here in this menu to the left, so that way it's nice and convenient, easy for you to access at any point, okay? So take a look at those, familiarize yourself with them, don't forget they exist, they're really important, okay? So we also have a list of literary devices. We'll be going over those, as we kind of work through the MLA handbook, which is also linked right here in this menu. That should be kind of your go-to for, oh, I need to cite something. Well, let me go check it. Oh, MLA stuff, let me go check it, right? And we should be doing that consistently throughout the course. Now, there is also free writing tutoring. It sends us over to the information about the Learning Success Center on the Lawrenceville campus, or the Alpharetta campus, whichever is closest to you. We also have library help, which is great. Our librarians are amazing. Use that. We have some student resources for you to peruse and some accessibility and privacy statements. In terms of internet etiquette, they ask us to keep this in. I haven't watched the video. I don't really expect you to. I'm just saying. So that is the Start Here section. So what we'll do is just kind of keep going down through. Now, the syllabus and the course calendar, we talked about those a little bit, so we can skip that. My grades is going to show you your grades. It's going to show you feedback once I give it to you, right? And you'll notice links appearing, and you just click on those. If there's a rubric, there's a view rubric area. If there's just written feedback, it'll say view feedback, and it makes it really convenient for you to access my comments to you, okay? Now, the lessons folder. This is going to be where we hang out most often. Again, you can see the MLA handbook here. You catching a trend? Yes, I'd like you to use it. So we have in the lesson 1 folder, this is where we'll be for the first couple of weeks. If we click on that, we can see that each week we'll have readings, we'll have videos, and we have assignments, right? These are kind of the big things that you'll see in each week. Now, I keep it consistent. Once we open the lesson 2 and lesson 3 folders, you'll also see it follows this exact same format. So what you see here in lesson 1 is what you will see throughout the course. Okay, I try not to throw any curveballs, and if something weird comes up, I'll send you an announcement about it, right? Draw it to your attention ASAP. All right. You'll see under the week that we're in, right? So this, what I'm going to call it a module. Under this module, we have the assignments that I need you to complete. In the titles, there are the deadlines. They're also up here as well to try to make things as simple as possible. All right, so you'll just click on those. I know we have a lot of quizzes in this first week, but we're refreshing from English 1101 or relearning if it's been a hot minute. So it's important that we get these down because I expect you to know MLA before we begin. Okay, so that's really, really important. All right, so week 2, this is where the fun starts. All right, so we have The Story of an Hour and Fatal Self-Assertion in Kate Chopin's The Story of an Hour. Now you'll notice that 90% of weeks we have a work of literature, and then we also have a critical article about that work of literature. All right, and you can access them both through links. You can print them if you want. You can view them on your screen. Either way, I really want you to annotate them so that way you have something to go off of during our class sessions if you're able to attend live. If you're not, you'll see the class session recording will be linked in this videos area. There will probably also be other videos as well, just to make sure we're all on the same page and we have every opportunity for success, right? Now, in assignments for the second week, we get into our writing assignments. So your essay 1, right, is going to be starting in week 2, right? I want to see a thesis statement. I want to see topic sentences, and don't worry, we're going to talk about this. So it's not like this is going to blindside you or anything like that. We will have a dialogue. And if our class meeting actually meets after this is due, you will have a video to help walk you through it, and then I can help you via email or during, let me scroll up, during office hours. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm here for you from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm also on campus for in-person office hours from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So whatever's most convenient for you. If you do come in to see me physically in my office, send me an email beforehand. This way I can get things set up and whatever. Or maybe, throw away some empty cans because energy drinks, am I right? I'm right. All right, so access office hours. Now, I know I'm going to go back to week 2, but people tend to think that office hours are, it's like an afterthought. It's inconvenient for maybe your instructor. It's not. We are here to help you during office hours. Utilize that time. At the end of term, if you come up to me or send me an email and you say, I didn't understand anything throughout term, my first question is going to be, why haven't I seen you in office hours? Right? Because if there's a question that you have that maybe you can't articulate in an email or it would be very lengthy, like we just talk about it, have a conversation, make it easy, right? So don't feel weird, just pop in and we can chat about whatever it is that you need, and then you go on your merry way. All right, things are fine, and I'm happy to help you verbally, or if you'd prefer to send an email so you could look back to my response, that also works as well. But use the tools that you're most comfortable with, but don't feel like office hours is in any way an afterthought. Okay, that's the time that I dedicate to you guys. All right, so let me pop back down to week 2. Reading responses are basically, I want to see written responses to the readings that we're doing. I know in theory I see you in class, but sometimes talking about things verbally is very different from talking about it in writing. So I want to be able to see both sides. And of course, you can use some ideas that we have from our class session in your reading responses if you'd like to. All right. Now, the week 2 class session recording response, if you are not able to be present and participate, that's important, right? You need to engage in some way during our class session. If you can't do that live, that's okay. What you can do is watch the recording and then, engage with the ideas that we are discussing and kind of analyzing and talking about from the class session in your response. Okay, and once you take a look at the assignment information down here, it should be pretty clear exactly what you need to do. All right. So you'll see, again, same stuff week 3. You will note that some weeks are busier than others, but I try my best to keep things nice and consistent. It's just, we're short term, and so it's going to be a lot of work piled up on some weeks. But hopefully by then you'll have a really good understanding of how to allocate your time for the course. Okay. So that is basically our lessons folder here. Now, right now, our class session is TBA because you have not yet completed the class session day/time survey. I need to know when you're available so that I can, hopefully see the most amount of people possible. Now, I will say one thing for the class recording responses. If you come to the live session and you participate, you don't need to do those and you'll get full credit. So how cool is that? Right? So, I'll just mark you down and then I will give you full points. So I just, it'll probably save you time to come to the class session if you possibly can. I'm just saying. If you can't, you can't. But we've got that. We talked about office hours. The MLA handbook is linked everywhere, so it's important. If you ever needed to know anything about me, you click this About the Instructor button here, this link, and it'll tell you, right? Here's my name. If you forget, don't forget. It's important. No, it's only important to me. But try to remember, because if you have any questions and you go to somebody else, they're not going to know which class you're in without that name. All right. My office location is in building 100, room 527C. Here's my office phone number and my email address. Email address, probably the best way to get in contact with me. Down here it says response to emails within 24 hours on weekdays. It probably will take less time for me to respond to you. If something's going on, then it will, take a little closer to that 24 hours. But that's just sort of the generic. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. All right, if you ever need to send an email and you want to send it through Blackboard, say to a classmate or something like that, you can use this Send Email tab. If you want to send something to me, you can actually just email me directly through Outlook. That's totally fine. Surveys, I think you can access the class day/time survey, but beyond that, basically this will only be active at the end of the term. When it's time to do course evaluations, you should be able to access our class survey through here. And then help is, if you have an issue with Blackboard. So I want to show this to you real quick. If you click that help button, you can fill out a request form, you can email them, you can call them or text them. Now I will say, if you go to visit, you actually can't get to room 407 right now, so I don't know who they're trying to kid. But, we've got multiple ways to get in contact with Blackboard Help, and they're pretty responsive during normal business hours. So just reach out and we will be able to, they'll be able to assist you. Okay, so that's our Blackboard course in a nutshell. If you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, see you next time.